You can use their web page, but the problem is that the web page is not optimized for being in a store environment.
Companies and brands in general are maturing quite a lot and understanding that we need to have a systemic approach to the customer journey. We need to do it from a customer perspective.
You, of course, need to know more about your consumer, and you need to be more specific about the consumer at that location.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Next Gen Retail Pod, then driven by the Next Gen Retail Hub. We're a few companies sitting in Mariatorget in Stockholm, working with retail, and we're very curious about what's happening today in retail and adjacent areas basically. And there's a lot of stuff happening in retail. We talk a lot about experiences. A lot of those experiences can be strengthened by the physical store. In the physical store, there's also a lot of tech that can be implemented, that can be put in, and especially to enhance, I guess, the overall experience, but the social part and like the holistic and the coherent customer journey can, of course, then be facilitated a bit by tech. But there's also a lot of strange things happening, just lots of gadgets, lots of marketing stunts, customer-facing things that are not perfect, at least to me as a consumer and a bit of a researcher that thinks a lot about these things. I know a bit of this. I can guess some things, but to dwell a bit more and understand a bit more, I have invited two guests today that are experts in this area. So we have Oskar Jakobsson, who is the CPO at Ombori. Welcome.
Thank you.
And Mattias Schedvin, who is a concept strategist at WorkShop. Welcome, both of you, and I think I'm really looking forward to trying to understand a bit more of like the store tech that is discussed and implemented and not implemented maybe around. So just to start, I would like you to basically give me your best store experience. I'll start with you, Oskar.
Thanks, and very much. I'm super happy to be here. Thank you, and looking forward to this dialogue and discussions. It's an area that's very close to my heart, and I like it a lot. So the best store experience, I think you can. It doesn't necessarily need to have tech, but I will take an example. There are so many great stores, like the small boutique on the corner that has an excellent staff and an excellent sort of location and setup. But I think as a good example, I will actually take the Lego store, which is very true to their mission. I don't know if you know the Lego mission is to sort of inspire the builders of tomorrow. And I think Lego has had like a huge change journey where they almost like count it out as a physical toy in a couple of quite many years from now. But then they reinvented their strategy and sort of changed their models, and now they are more profitable than ever. And the Lego store is really like a place where they combine tech and the store experience and the store staff in a good way to actually live their mission to inspire the builders of tomorrow. Even though I might not be the builder of tomorrow, but still
the builder of today.
Yeah, I was the builder of yesterday, maybe. But still, it's a very much where you can have a mirror or a screen that where you sort of take one of these boxes and you hold it in front of it, and you get the whole thing built up on top of it, and you see the guys walking around, the firefighters fighting the fires, and the thieves are blowing up the bank, and they're doing it as a story. So they're really like creating live. The box comes to life when you hold it up there. You can create a painting of yourself. You take a picture and it creates you get the box with your canvas. You have the which Lego avatar are you screens, and they have all these different where they're combining playfulness and the physical location. So you want to go into a Lego store. They also have the physical part where they actually build these. If you go to a Lego store in China, you have the Chinese dragon thing. If you go into New York, you have the Empire State Building built up. In London, you would have the Big Ben. It's very sort of local, built in Lego blocks. So it's an Instagram moment where you take a picture of front of the the telephone kiosk built in Lego, whatever it might be in London. Yeah. So they're combining their product in the store environment, and also the store staff is sort of like greeting you when you come in. You get the personal, like, how can I help you? And they know everything. They know how it works. So I would say that is my top pick when it comes to store experience.
Cool. And before you get to introduce yourself a bit more and what you do, I'll leave it to Mattias.
Thanks. I agree, Oskar. I mean, what Lego are doing, they're really creating some sort of integrated store which becomes a theater. And I think that's really what future retail is about, to blend in the products in the story and set the consumer as a part of that story. Good example, I mean, a convenient example where we use tech, where I think it works really nice, and also how they kind of use the tech in order to prioritize what the physical meeting really is about. It's at Nespresso. So you just walk in there, you get a hi from the staff directly, asking us what kind of help I need. Maybe I'm just there to stock up. Then I go and pick my stuffs directly in a bag, go to the checkout with, I think it's RFID and some sort of weight. Yeah. So I just place it there and swipe my card, and then it's ready. Now the staff asked me if I would like to have a cup of coffee, try a new taste, and if I had any questions regarding new tastes and something. They're always beside me there, but they focus on knowledge of their assortment and to support me with their stories rather than handling the transactional part. Yeah. And it always works, and it's super smooth. And if I'm in a hurry, I'm done in a minute. If I like to deep dive in a new coffee and taste it, I can spend a lot of time there.
Yeah. No, but I think both the examples that you bring up is where you can use, or brands are using then tech to enhance, support the overall customer experience, and taking it to the next step and using it in a logical and smart way.
Mm. You're sort of reducing the friction by having that you can check out yourself, you don't have to stand in line and all of those, but still you are building the brand. So you can, the staff is there to sort of talk about the products, get you to try new tastes, get you to maybe, that you can subscribe to this, you can have a monthly, do you want to sign up for that and that? And then they can do they have the drink of the month and all these sort of how they involve the product into that dialogue.
Yeah. And it's from a customer perspective.
Yes.
It's from a consumer and a customer perspective. It's not driven only for efficiency or reducing cost or adding these things to be able to cut down on things, but it's actually trying to enhance, trying to find the best way. And also maybe, I don't know exactly how to put it, but there are some different journeys. As you said, if you just want to buy coffee and espresso, that's a shorter journey. You can take care of that by yourself. If you want to buy a machine or something, then you're taken care of, and they understand that in a pretty fast way. Let's, CPO at Ombori. What is that? What do you do?
So I'm responsible for our product. So the product responsible. And
what's the product?
The product is the Ombori Grid, which is the platform for in-store digitalization. So that is key in everything that we deliver, that everything is built on top of that platform. And then we have sort of key product that we deliver, but we also have partner products that any partner can deliver and sort of integrate to the platform, and then they can utilize the instant real-time data flow and the analytics and the monitoring and all of that comes with the platform. And really, I think the key is that seeing how stores evolve with more and more tech and more digital solutions, and also that retail is not like store and online. Retail is omni. I think you need to realize that there is not an option. It's like retail is wherever the customer wants to shop, you need to be able to provide a transaction opportunity. The store is a physical market location where you can brand and you can use that, and online you need to be an online actor as well.
Yeah. And when we talked before, I understand that you get more and more questions and clients that actually ask for this systemic approach. So it's not just one-off things, but they actually want to be able to create this overall experience.
Yeah, I think the ones that have come a bit on their digital journeys, the larger global retailers, they have tried different solutions, and they realize that they need digital solutions in store. They know that they need to have stores. So those are sort of taken. That was questions a couple of years ago, like the store is dead and do we need tech and things like that. I think everyone is over that. We know we need tech and we know we need physical locations. And then it's more, they also realize that they need a platform approach to be able to not do integrations for each and every one of the solutions that they're implementing, and to be able to have a real-time flow between the solutions in the store, so that you can have a queuing solution and that is connected to a signage solution, and then you have an endless aisle solution, and then that is connected to a store staff device, so that everything can sort of easily flow when it comes to data, so that you would reduce the friction for the customer, but also like enhance and empower your store staff with data, so that they can provide that perfect relationship to the customer when they come in and things like that.
Yeah. And Mattias is a concept strategist at WorkShop, and I know that we get a lot of questions also about designing and finding concepts that are actually doing this. What's your job, and what are the questions and issues that you get to discuss with clients?
No, but I mean, we kind of tap into the same agenda, I guess. And from a concept point of view, I mean, today we sit down with customers quite a lot and redefine the role of their physical stores. And as you say, we know we need it, and they have their online platform as well. More and more it's integrated and not as silos, but still you can see that. So it is to define how to build a physical experience which add value to the consumer in that context of a customer journey which goes across a lot of different touch points, and that's less stock heavy products on the shelves only and transactional driven, so it has to kind of blend in.
Is it easy to get them to buy into those ideas?
Yeah, I mean, all clients and all brands, they have read the reports and the trends and all those things, and they kind of realize they need to transform their offering, but they don't really know how. There is a lot of differences when it comes to how mature they are in using technology and I guess technical wise how to connect it between the physical space and but there you can help out. But they are in a quite big question mark still. How should we move forward? And then I mean that's quite easy. The answer is more or less to start to dig into the consumer and understand what they want and what they would like to how would they like your next door concept, and take it from that.
Yeah, I think that we talk about like a holistic customer experience and using tech to enhance the overall thing. I'm a little bit interested in if you have any bad examples of stuff that is more just gadgets that doesn't really do anything for the customer that you try to talk clients out of doing.
Yeah, I think first of all, putting tech in store needs to work. That is one key thing, and that's also very much of the platform approach thing.
That's the 1A of the list.
If you have if you have a screen, it should work.
Yeah.
So that is key, is to make sure that you can monitor and you can keep track and making sure that it's actually up and running. Then when it's up and running, I think fairly amount of retailers have tried what is called like a web kiosk, or like putting your web on a screen in store, just the regular web. Maybe to sort of lock it down a bit. I think everyone is past that. You'll be able to search for everything and go to Google and do whatever. So they lock it down so you can use their web page. But the problem is that the web page is not optimized for being in a store environment. All customer has a mobile phone, So it needs to be something that is tailored for a store environment to work in the store environment. Just putting the web there, you would have links to print, to contact us, to anything that would create that solution to crash. So usually those web kiosks, they are not working after a while, and there are quite a lot of problems with them. So I would say that is a typical solution that was like an early adoption of digital in store, where we see now more and more that people are moving away from that into a more like an endless aisle, actually tailored for a store environment, where you can have what is it that customer wants. They want to know stock levels, they want to know product information, they want to find products that are not available in store online, they want to build an online basket, all of those like information, tutorials, guides, those kind of solutions that is not available on the web.
Yeah. Mattias, do you have any bad examples?
Yeah, the black screen is maybe the most obvious one. No, but I think, still you see, or more often you see, just tech for tech's sake in retail. Because they read about it and they could do it, and they just throw it in on the shop floor without any thoughts how it should actually create value to the consumer. Is it placed in the right way in the customer journey? So that's really annoying, where you see really smart things, but they are not used in the right way in the store. Looks like a screen just hanging on the roof.
Because I know that there are lots of examples of luxury fashion brands that are using AR mirrors or things in the windows, or you have smart fitting rooms, or there are some of these like or AR other applications or treasure hunts in store with mobile phones and stuff. Are there any of those things that are gadgety that you see we will get more of, or that will actually be part of like the more of a general customer experience going forward?
My point of view is that you will see all of those, getting more of them. I think those are solutions that actually do create a value. If you take the maturity of a virtual screen that is like an AR fit, where you stand in front of it and you can see the perch or the shoes or whatever it might be, that is actually it's still fairly early. It's quite a lot of job to make it work. It's mostly from a marketing point of view, or a branding and sort of attraction. We're not really in the level where you can have like a virtual try-on mirror for all your assortment and it would replace the fitting room. So it's an early solution still. It will mature, and it will definitely come to that you can stand in front of a screen and you would sort of virtually try on products. It's just a matter of time when we're good enough in solution-wise on that one. Yeah. When it comes to smart fitting rooms, I think that is a solution. We have our version of it over there. It is already it's a market-ready solution, and definitely when you get a customer into the fitting room, you're standing in the front line of the till, you are closer to a sale, but you're never closer to a sale than someone actually taking products and trying them on. But you're also so easy to lose that sales if it doesn't fit. So if you bring in a pair of jeans and it doesn't fit, you will most likely not go out and fetch another one and go in again, stand in line again. But if you can get help there, if you can get a fitting room solution actually saying like, I want these jeans in another size, and then someone brings it to you, then you are reducing that friction quite a lot. You're also creating an opportunity for the stores to actually do an upsell. When I'm bringing the jeans, do you want me to bring this and this? And if you have like the data platform, that you know, like you looked at this, or you on your online, you brought this into your basket, you would then be able to push very relevant recommendations when you're in there. So driving upsell. And
I think that maybe that's a question also for you, Oskar, but I'll ask it to Mattias first. Will this only be in brand stores? Because today it's from a publicity perspective and from a tech and advancement and building a brand that is then induced or where there's an extra touch of tech in there. They're mainly brand stores, I would say. Will this be everywhere? So you will have like marketplaces or regular multi-brand stores that will also have all of these tech things, or will it be mainly brand stores also going forward?
I guess it will be. It has to be a part. I mean, using tech which add value and which create this seamlessness, which we are all talking about, but truly add value into that journey. Then it shouldn't be limited to brand stores. Absolutely not. I mean, it could be in a convenience store. It could be. I mean, let's start to see a little bit in both convenience and in grocery markets. So especially if you turn your head a little bit towards Southeast Asia and such thing, you see a lot of cool and experience-driven tech in food and grocery. So no, I believe it will be part of it.
It will be everywhere.
Yeah. Because it's the same. It's the consumer. Yeah. They expect us to do this and to entertain them and to be frictionless.
Yeah. Yeah, I completely agree. It just depends on what solution, and the solution is there to either sort of as a marketing brand building thing, but can also, I mean, anything that reduce friction. So anything that, I mean, you're adding self-service to reduce friction, to customer can do things themselves. They don't have to wait. You can then sort of optimize your store staff so they can cater and be the ambassadors and be the value creator. That sort of goes for all retail, fashion, luxury. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's grocery or whatever it might be. You would then be able to sort of create value with your store staff instead of doing the sort of the repetitive tasks that are not creating value. That's when you push in self-service, like a mobile scan and go or a self-checkout or whatever it might be. In a grocery store, I mean, we do have those where you can monitor the people flow, and then you would automatically push them a notification to a store staff that you need to open up a new register. You would have queuing kiosks where you can take mobile tickets, so you can walk around in the store and increase your basket and explore, and don't sort of stand in line waiting for your ticket to show up, but you actually get notified. I think if you have a queuing situation in your store, you should definitely have mobile queuing so that the customer can walk around doing other things, and they know now it's my turn. Then you are reducing the friction. They can do whatever, and you probably would increase sales quite a lot in that case as well.
Yeah, and we've been touching on it now because I think that, of course, there is a consumer part of this, enhancing the consumer experience in total with tech. But then, of course, there is an operations perspective, efficiency perspective, a data perspective that is really important. And today, it's still a bit difficult to collect data in physical stores compared to online. I guess that tech can help that, and is already helping that today. What will happen going forward? We will know everything about everyone also then physically, not only digitally.
I would not say it's difficult to collect data in the physical location. I would say that most people don't do it. But there is, I mean, that is what we do with the Grid platform and with the solutions. So if you have that, you would be able to collect data in store. And anyone using the Grid platform is collecting data from like which products are being brought into the fitting room. If you are a fashion retailer, bringing into the fitting room, tried out, not bought, what is bought, what is relevant recommendations, what is driving the upsell, what is also then always requested another size. So maybe there's a sizing issue, maybe there's a sort of a sense and feel or fit issue with products that are sort of brought in but never bought. I would say that you would be able to create data real time, so that if you want to sort of build your basket, you can get that in real time. That's what that is real time cart screen is showing, that you're building your basket and you show it on the screen. And definitely connecting online to store. I think that is so if you are building your basket online, you come to the store, you would be able to utilize that. But also like when you are in store looking at the recipes, picking your basket or curating your grocery shopping, you would definitely want that when you get home. So you need to sort of have that as a seamless flow online and in store. And you need to connect that also with the store staff, that when they come and cater with you and you talk about, I want to have, I don't know, salmon for dinner, and you talk to the deli counter, they say, okay, so let's do pick this and this recipe. They should be able to sort of provide that to you so that when you get home, you have it. But you need to have that seamless connection.
Yeah. And from your perspective, Mattias, will this data layer or this ease of data collection and the understanding of the effect and the customer drive different concepts? Will that change how we create retail concepts and how we draw stores and build stores going forward?
Yeah, definitely, I think so. I mean, we are looking into now another kind of format mix when it comes to concept. It's not one size fits all. It's more whether it's a convenient format in your neighborhood or it's a more niche format where you go a little bit deep dive into nerdiness in a specific area. You, of course, need to know more about your consumer, and you need to be more specific about the consumer at that location in order to be able to optimize those concepts. So yeah, it will. And it will be an important source because, I mean, we see a lot of retail format which are more maybe done as a pilot in order to gather data. I mean, you can do a pop-up or a seasonal store more in the context that you would like to learn more about your consumers. So in that case, it's definitely that tech layer can help us out.
Yeah, and I as I talk about all the time, almost is to create like a system where you can iterate and understand and enhance and improve the experience all the time. So you take data points and you understand and you learn and you try things. So there, I definitely think that we can do data and that layer about how the consumer is really wanting to have things can actually add and iterate and create better customer experiences, better stores, different stores, and that can serve as decision support for many people if you then use it in a smart way.
Yeah, and also when you are, I mean, most retails are looking at small format stores. I mean, reducing the size of the actual location. They know they need stores. I mean, they're opening more stores than they're closing. I mean, so you would have more stores, but you would have it more specialized, and you would still have that high street store, and you still have that flagship store, but you want it to be more catered. So you don't have that every store have all the assortment. You want it to be more limited. But you also want, and that's where sort of tech comes into. Data drives like, what do we need to have in the store? What should we sell? But you also then would need to be able to provide the full assortment. And that's where like solution like Endless Aisle and Mobile Endless Aisle, and you connect the Omni basket, you do order pickup, so you do an online order, you pick it in store, and you sort of have the lockers and handouts and all of those sort of like Omni journeys, they are then connected to that. And that's very much where loads of retailers are working on now, rolling out lockers, doing different kind of order pickup, buy online, pickup in store, click and collect, and all of those. And that's also fairly regionalized still. I mean, if you look at the US as a market, you get more of the curbside pickup. You want to be able to park in a parking lot and someone come out with your order. UK, it's still very much of the click and collect. If I order something from Marks and Spencer, I go to Marks and Spencer and I pick it up. And in Sweden and the Nordics, we have the postombud. So you go to ICA to pick up your. We don't have Marks and Spencer in Sweden, but I mean you would go to ICA to pick up your Marks and Spencer order in Sweden. So that would be like that is different. And in China and certain Asian market, you have like you decide where you are. I'm in the studio, so if I would receive my order now, I would say I'm in the studios, and then someone would come and deliver it here. So yeah, it's very regionalized still on how you pick up your order and how mature the market is on different order pickup options.
Yeah, if we're trying to start to conclude this conversation, then if I make an attempt on a summary, let's see if we do it. There will be more tech used in stores. Companies and brands in general are maturing quite a lot and understanding that there's not such a big value in one-off things. We need to have a systemic approach to the customer journey. We need to do it from a customer perspective. So it's not only to increase efficiency, which is of course an added bonus if you can do that. No black screens. if you add things, that's the most important no. If the screen is working, that's at least then you've checked one box. So that's a start then, I guess. And we are then, from a consumer perspective, looking at a bright future when tech can be integrated, will be integrated to then both work in favor of the brand, the retailer, and the consumer. So bright future. Thanks a lot for having you here and making sense of some of these developments and adding to my knowledge in this area. And thanks a lot for watching and listening to us. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you.